Matt Remfrey. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
So Matt, tell everyone a little bit about what you do and more specifically, what was going on in the business before we started working together.
Yeah, sure. So my business is a design business. We're design and marketing. We primarily do wine marketing. So we help winemakers with their brand, with their marketing, with their story, and basically, sort of help them sell more wine. Our niche is that sort of small to medium independent winemakers. We've been running for about 16, 17 years. And the business has always been very strong. And in the last 12 months, I just found it, we were just struggling to convert that whole thing of sort of working off word of mouth and referral. I just felt that we'd probably got to the point where we'd maxed out on that a little bit. And there was nothing, we had no strategies to actually go out and find more work. It was all about work coming in. So I knew that there was an issue there. A few months ago, pipeline was just empty. And I was really sort of scratching my head to work out, okay, how do we rectify this without getting on the phone and cold calling or going and visiting people? So I knew I had to do something. And that was when I sort of came into this program.
So Matt, there's lots of places you can go to get help with marketing and sales and business development. Why did you choose to work with us in the end?
The problems you kept articulating to me, I was just, every time I'd get a piece of content or an email or whatever from you, I'd look at it and go, that's exactly what is happening to me right now. It was uncanny. And they would sort of pop up at exactly at the right time as well. I know that's probably happenstance, but it would be, I might have just lost a sale and then all of a sudden I've got a piece of content from you telling me why I lost that sale or how to do better next time. It was quite uncanny.
It's because I read minds, Matt.
Yeah,
I don't know
exactly.
if I told you that before. I'm a mind reader. That's the secret, actually.
Yeah.
Got it. So Matt, let's talk through what you experienced inside the 90-day pipeline. Take us through what the first big shift was for you.
Okay, the first big shift was probably actually spending the time on the business rather than being reactive, really sort of going in deep as to what we offer clients, what the pain points for clients are, what the industry needs, and also articulating our positioning. So our positioning within the wine industry had sort of been thrust upon us, if you like. The more work you do in an industry, the more work you get in that industry. This is the first time we said, no, okay, this is our position, and we're really going to sort of make that shift within the business and within the way we're marketing ourselves. That's number one.
And just a note on that, Matt. So I recall that you had you have a lot of clients, and you've got big companies, small companies, and we went through this whole exercise of distilling and identifying where you ought to focus to get the best results for you, and what kind of clients are the best match for you. How did it feel once we had that clarity on, okay, this is the market that we're going to pursue now?
I suppose it all of a sudden felt a little bit like a weight had been lifted. It was like, I can just concentrate on these guys. Like, I remember you saying to me, listen, the big guys are sort of like, they'll come in and they just need another pair of hands and they're like icing on the cake. But your target is these small to medium independent wine companies that you can go in and make a real difference. And as soon as you sort of think of that, you go, all right, I don't need to worry about really pushing myself on anyone else. It's, I can just concentrate on that one sector. It sort of, just gives you far more clarity around what you're doing.
Awesome. So now we know who we're going after. We've got that positioning locked in. What was the second big shift for you, Matt?
Second big shift for me, there was a part about the 7 characters in a story. Big shift for me to sort of go from the point of view of thinking, we're the hero and we're coming in to save the day, to actually being the teacher and helping someone else on that path. And it's fundamentally changed the way we look at clients. It's also fundamentally changed the way we get our wine clients to think about their customers, because the wine industry as a whole tends to think that they're the hero and all they talk about is winemaking and vineyards and that. And very rarely do they actually think about what benefit they're bringing to the customer and how they can help that process.
And your competitors, design agencies, are their claim to fame. You go on their websites, they're just showing off their labels. Our packaging is better than yours. Look at how smart, bright, creative we are. And here you are saying, well, forget all of that. Here's your problem, Mr. Customer, and here's how we can help you. And how has that changed the kind of conversations you're having?
That's changed it fundamentally, because we were sort of going in and saying, we know the problem you're facing. these clients face the same problem. After working with us, they're now showing these results. It's not about awards won for design labels and things like that. It's about, real sort of commercial results.
Love it. And Matt, what was the third big takeaway for you?
The third big takeaway was actually going through the process with LinkedIn, Sales Navigator, Ulink, going through that process and actually now having a structured system for generating leads, making connections. We've got connections, we've got conversations going. We've actually got some really good conversations with clients in markets that we didn't have before. But there's a real sort of a structure behind that lead generation system, which feels, it feels right. It doesn't feel like we're cold calling people. It doesn't feel like we're pushing ourselves. It's putting content out there, and people are responding to it and then coming to talk to us because of that content we're putting out there. So it feels very genuine.
And you may be humble about this, but I'll toot your horn for you. You've done a fantastic job of packaging content, putting your insights, your expertise out there on display for the market to interact with. I know they're responding, they're engaging, they're interacting with it, and that's getting great results for you. Tell me a little bit about how that felt, because it's not an easy step for people to take. How did you feel taking that step?
Nervous, the big thing to stop you from doing that is fear, like putting yourself out there. And those videos, we recorded them about 3 or 4 times before we sort of got them that they felt that I wasn't, I wasn't a stiff on screen. But then again, putting myself out there and doing that, and I've had probably nothing but good comments coming back. And it's really interesting. Everyone's saying, listen, no one in your industry is doing this at all, and even the stuff that I think is, I suppose, fairly normal sort of information I'm giving, people are coming back and going, wow, that's fantastic content. Thanks very much. So it's working well.
It's funny. The things that sometimes I find that I say that are the most elementary are the most eye-opening for people, right? So we can't take that for granted.
Exactly.
Matt, now that you've been through this process, how are you feeling about the way forward and the future for your business?
I'm feeling excited. I'm feeling energized by it. I think it's absolutely the right thing to do for the business. And now it's just something that, again, like talking about your ideal client, we've now got a focus. We can put all of our energy into one focus. And to me, that, everyone knows the direction of the business is going, and it feels really, really good.
Fantastic. Matt, last question for you. If someone's watching this video and they're like, kind of on the fence, should I jump in? Should I do this thing? Is this Ahmed guy the real deal? What would you say to them?
I'd say definitely jump in. It's been a fantastic experience. It's been a really big learning experience for me. I haven't done this with my business for a long time, and I found the process fantastic. And, the things that you've sort of shown are just really fundamental things. Everyone can get up and do them, and they're showing results. And it doesn't feel forced. It feels very natural, and it doesn't feel salesy, like I'm trying to push myself onto people. It's really good, really fantastic.
Well, coming from an experienced, savvy business owner like you, that means a lot. Matt, it's been a pleasure to work together, and thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Ahmed. Have a great day.